Well, let's talk about all things spooky just now, because it might be better known as the oil capital of Europe and the Granite City, but it actually turns out that Aberdeen's got a history of witchcraft. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yes.
I'm about to find out. I think.
Yes.
The city's documented history of witchcraft is being brought to life by a new witch trail, apparently. It will take visitors around the city, including virtually, showing the torture devices used and show what made witchcraft in Scotland unique. Here's the Nine's India Grant to explain.
The Cathedral of St Macha in Aberdeen has stood witness to much of the city's history, and now it's the starting point of a new witchcraft trail. Aberdeen's witch history has long been documented. These skeletons, victims of witch persecution, were uncovered in the city's St Nicholas Kirk only a few years ago. Now the trail aims to bring stories like this to life.
We wanted to explore what made witchcraft in Scotland unique. It's such a small country, but proportionally so many people, women as well as men, were persecuted and executed for the crime of witchcraft.
Against a backdrop of fear and paranoia through the 16th to 18th century, even the godly here at St Macha's Cathedral were not spared.
The cathedral is where one of the accused witches actually worshipped. So she was a devout woman who worshipped at this church and nonetheless was still accused of being a witch.
One stop on the tour takes in modern street art, which references Aberdeen's chilling history.
So there's a contemporary street artist called Milu Korich, and she has created these large-scale works of women actually with their faces covered. So it's responding to the fact that these women didn't really have an opportunity to say anything against their accusers.
The Mercat Cross still stands in the city centre. Back in the day, it was a focal point for witchcraft accusations.
Women would meet and dance with the devil, engage in sexual acts, and do things that were unimaginable to the church and to the leaders of Aberdeen. So as a result, these women needed to be punished.
The punishment in Aberdeen is shown in the trail's virtual exhibition. These torture devices, including thumbscrews, are held by the University of Aberdeen's special collection. What do you think it does to see these objects of torture in the way that people perceive persecution in this time?
I think it's very visceral and shocking, honestly. I was a bit horrified when I picked up the thumbscrews, and you can't help but imagine it being used on you. I think it really brings it home that this is not a fantasy. It's not the sort of attractive witch dressing up for Halloween that we maybe now picture, but these were real people who were kind of caught up in a panic and who would have great difficulty in escaping these accusations, because it would be so hard to stand up and say, I'm innocent.
The trail ends here, at the beautiful historic fishing village of Fitty. Hundreds of years ago, a woman claimed that she met and danced with the devil here, and now it's part of a wider trail that takes in snippets of history that links to a wider Scottish story of witchcraft and persecution. India Grant, BBC News.
Fascinating stuff.
I know.
I need to get myself on that trail, I think.
You'll be on the trail this weekend.
Yeah, it sounds good.